Hello, everybody.
Hey
We
guys.
are live. We're so excited to be back. And just a quick reminder, we are ATX Homegirls, where we bring you these live streams every month on the third Wednesday at 11 a.m. We do talk about real estate, but recently we embarked and we decided to do a series of Where's Your Hood series. And I love that Melissa came up with that name, and I'm like, girl, let's go with it. Let's do it. Last month we talked about Montopolis in Southeast Austin, and in this live stream we're going to talk about Kyle. So we're so excited about that. Real quick, a recap of what we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over the greater Kyle metro stats, followed by a few neighborhoods in Kyle that we wanted to talk about and their average price points. Then we'll move on to events that happen near Kyle and what's nearby.
We'll go from like the stats to the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of progressively going to the fun stuff, and we're going to end it with a huge announcement that's coming to Kyle. So please chime in. Let us know if you're from Kyle and whatnot. But before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. Melissa, if you don't, please go first.
Hi, y'all. I hope we have return viewers and subscribers. So I will always say I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say please like and subscribe and follow all the things, right? So I'm Melissa Hudson. I am originally from Austin and been in real estate over 11 years. And fun facts about me: I'm a grandma. I have 2 dogs and a sassy cat. We don't just.
I love your cat. Okay,
Liza's obsessed with my cat. Her name's Robbie. More on her later. Sometimes she'll jump in the middle of my business meetings. But yeah, I love real estate. I love helping people. And I love my partner, Liza. And I love doing these lives because we just mesh so well together. And another fun fact is she stood up in my wedding. We've been friends for years. So you take it away, Liza.
Yay. So, and then I'm Liza Brazel, born and raised here in Austin, like Melissa, and grew up a majority of my life in Montopolis, East Austin. I have also been in real estate. Gosh, has it been 11 years, Melissa?
I think we're going on 12 or
12. Oh
yeah.
My goodness. It doesn't even feel, it kind of feels like we started yesterday in real estate, but time goes by so fast. But yes, we've been in real estate for a good while. We've seen a lot of the growth that's happened here in the city that we live in. So other than that, yes, let me see, what are fun facts? I'm learning the accordion. That's a fun fact about me, and I'm enjoying it. But other than that, my primary focus is real estate.
No. What else are you learning? Tell the people.
In Mandarin. I want to challenge myself. I want to, you know what I mean? Like I want to believe in myself that I can take on a new task that I know nothing of. And yeah, and I'm scared every time I want to quit, but I'm going to keep moving forward with it because it's kind of fun, but it is overwhelming, but I like it. I love a challenge. So there's that. Fun facts. Yes. So anyways, let's go on and get the live stream started with the boring but essential information on the stats. So we're going to jump in with the greater Kyle market stats. And let me add this to the stage. 1 second.
But honestly, if you're a nerd and you love the numbers, this would appeal to you. But if you live in Kyle or considering moving to Kyle, these are just some very interesting numbers in regard to it's real estate data. So I'll let Liza take it away because she's really good at the stat stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, the real estate data, I think it's very important to understand what's happening in your area, right? And this is, we don't have February's data, obviously. We're still in the month of February. So we do have January. And the data here, we have median price. Now, real quick, last time when we discussed this, I forgot to highlight something important, and I was reminded of it on the median price point. It dawned on me, there's a lot of people that don't know what median means. So if you do me a favor, guys, and you look over to the right of my screen, you're going to see something called price distribution, right? And it starts with the lowest of the prices on to the highest. So median price point, it basically what it does, it knocks out a lot of the lowest in higher price points, and we end up at a median price point, right? In a lot of the median homes, their prices are at the 342 range. It doesn't mean that all the homes in the Kyle area are going to be in this price point, but most of them are. A big chunk of the homes are going to be around this price point. So that, just a quick emphasis on that, that's the median price point. For the month,
Really
yeah,
quick, I just find this really interesting. I had to interject here.
yeah, yeah.
Liza, remember Liza when we were putting people in homes in Kyle for like 180,000?
Girl,
We didn't
yes.
even meet 200K. Like the homes we
No.
were selling were like, we were so excited. She'd be like, I'm showing at home in Kyle. It's like, it's pretty good. It's 165, 175. And we were so excited back then because that's what the homes were selling for. And that was a long time ago. But just looking at the projection now for the median home price compared to when we were selling homes early on in our real estate career, the home prices just were so super affordable back then.
Exactly. Super, super affordable. I mean, that was very, very common to see, right? Home prices in the low to mid 100s in Kyle. Actually, even in parts of Austin, right? It was super common to see that. And now it's like you cannot find that, right? We're looking at, I want to say it in the Kyle, San Marcos, Buda area, but you could probably still find a lot, like you see here, the median price point. But once you get into Austin, it does get harder. You're limited on that pool, which is why in Austin the median price point is a lot higher. But going back into the stats for January in Kyle, um, we have 242 closed sales. There's a ton of active listings, just under 1,000, and then we have a little over 3 months of inventory for homes in. Again, I just want to emphasize this is for Kyle, Buda, San Marcos metro area, right? Now, I want you to also put your eyes down to the lower right side of the screen, and I want you to pay attention to 92.6%. That is what the homes closed at from the original asking price. So they're closing at less than asking price. Majority of these homes are, if you see here, 2023, they're brand new construction. There's a lot of new development happening here in Kyle. And we'll jump into that here in a little bit.
Mhm.
We have the median home size of around 1,900 square feet. And this is important for a lot of people too. What are the amount of days that these homes are staying on the market? What's about 86 days? So we're looking at about 3 months on the market before they're offloaded or before they close or go pending.
It's very telling, though. It's very telling because that would not be, you know, in the past. We're
Right.
not, and we're talking about resale. So these numbers are screaming to me new construction.
Yes.
And I'm saying this because if I'm walking into a seller's house and having a listing appointment with them and discussing days on market for resale, I'm pulling out new construction stats because sometimes the new construction companies will put their properties online and they're still in development phase, like they're, past frame with sheetrock. So yeah, I feel like these stats are in a lot of ways screaming new construction, and it's kind of telling for how the growth of the city is projected.
And you're absolutely right about that, Melissa. And I think that's important. This data does include new construction and resale homes, so you're right on it for that. And you guys will see in other data that I'll pull up how we're gonna discuss two newer communities and then two older communities, and you will see on those individual reports their average days on market, and you will see why it ties back into what Melissa just said now, that these 86 days on market isn't really reflective of all homes in Kyle. It's really all the new construction. New construction tends to be on the market a lot longer than the resale home, so you'll kind of see an average of that altogether. And then we have Rochelle. She says, "Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello, hello, lady." Um, so yeah, now moving on from San Marcos, Buda, Kyle, I'm gonna narrow it down to the zip code for Kyle, 78640. So let's move on to that slide. Again, guys, bear with me. I know this is boring information, but it's super important. So as we see, Buda tends to be just a little bit pricier on average, right? For because it's closer to Austin. So when we included Buda and San Marcos and Kyle, the median price point was at 342. Now for the Kyle zip code, we have that median price point lower at 326,900. Now again, move your eyes to the right of my screen where you see price distribution. Again, we're going to take out a lot of the lowest and a lot of the highest, and the median price point, a lot of that chunk falls in the 326 price point. The days on market is lower at 65 days on the market. And we have a median home size around almost 1,900 square feet again. And also about the same, 92.7% from the list price. So a lot of the homes that are on the market now, you can kind of safely bet they're closing at 7% under asking price, which is actually a huge chunk of money
It
from what
is.
they're originally listed at. That's a huge chunk. So and same amount of inventory, 3.2 months of inventory for
Also, like, I think January markets is such a spillover from December.
yeah.
Because if you're thinking about it, most of these homes would have contract in December, and we just had a really, I would say, very interesting fourth quarter last year in terms of like if you were a seller or if you were a buyer, you as a seller you were staying on the market longer, whether you were new construction or not. So these numbers is very interesting. And by the way, a lot of sellers were going ahead and accepting lower prices on their homes because they were just sitting on the market a little bit longer. Whereas new construction were throwing every trick in the hat. And I say that it's to an advantage to you as a buyer, because if you were a candidate seeking new construction in the month of November, December, let me just tell you, congratulations, you won really big.
Yeah.
You won really big. I mean, they were giving you everything. What did you want? Because they was going to give it to you. Lower interest rate, flex cash at closing, paying title policy. You want a refrigerator, you get it. You want blinds, you got it. You want a washer and dryer, you got it. So just congratulations to anyone who bought new construction in Kyle or anywhere in the last quarter of last year. Bravo.
Yes, congratulations to you guys. You guys received massive incentives, and I'm still seeing a lot of those incentives still intact with a lot of the builders.
Right.
They do change depending the timing, right? End of the month sales, or they're trying to meet their quota. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how all the sales part goes, but I do notice a trend that a lot of the incentives they do come out towards the end of the month, and they promote the incentives of lower interest rates. We'll include this flex cash or anything that they can to get you to sign a contract by a determined time frame, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to this blue line here on the graph. Does indicate the trend of the median price point, which is lower, right? And that's, I think all of us can agree that we're at the height, I want to say about the spring of 2022, and that slowly started trending lower as the interest rates were going higher. The gold line is the amount of sales. So as the amount of sales increase, which I want to say that it will decrease our months of inventory, will then will maybe stimulate, I want to say a bit of an increase on prices. So it just depends also what happens with the market interest rates.
It's all the supply and demand theory.
It's all the supply and demand. Exactly. So
look what Keena says down here. Crazy how things have flipped. Heck yeah.
yeah, exactly. I think this is healthy though. I mean, I want to say it feels good that buyers are having leverage in this market to be able to get something with these higher interest rates. Like, hey, I'll buy this house, but can we negotiate closing costs, or will you do this, or will you do that? Right? There's a lot of leverage there for buyers that they can work out for a resale. Likewise with the new construction, they can take advantage of the incentives and then get a new house out of it. If it makes sense for them. The numbers have to make sense, obviously. But those are the stats for, like I mentioned earlier, the greater Kyle area, and specifically narrowing down on the zip code for Kyle. Let's jump into Six Creeks. So what I'm going to do here,
such a pretty neighborhood. I sold 2 homes in that neighborhood. Excuse me. And now that I'm thinking about it, Liza, I would say more than half of my new construction was in this Kyle market.
Kyle, exactly.
Kyle Euland.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me show you the map real quick. Y'all see my map there? So this is Kyle. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we have Kyle here.
God, Plum Creek is huge.
So, and then what I want to focus on is all these colored areas are the subdivisions that we're going to be discussing. We will jump into Six Creeks first. It's the red highlighted area there at the west. It's west of 35, south of Plum Creek. The yellow area is Plum Creek, and out to the east, the purple area is Crosswinds. And then south of the purple area is Waterleaf. So those are the 4 subdivisions we're going to discuss. I wanted a variety of 2 west of Kyle and 2 east of Kyle, because there's new development everywhere. There's resale everywhere, but a few neighborhoods to kind of give you a general idea of what's going on. Jumping into Six Creeks real quick. It's just going to be a brief overview of what inventory they have in Six Creeks. So if you see here, and Melissa, you said you remember that street Trout River.
I
I think
sold a house on Trout River.
Trout River. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So, real quick on Six Creeks, the average price points in Six Creeks. It is one of the newer master plan communities in West Kyle. They have the builders that they have out there is Taylor Morrison, Perry Homes, Highland Homes, Coventry Homes, Pulte Homes, Chesmar Homes, and these are both coming, or they might already be constructing out there. And a New Home Co. is one of the new builders that's coming
and it's
out.
also good to note that all the builders that Liza mentioned are considered luxury or upscale home builders. Some of these, when you're buying new construction, you'll quickly find out whether you're going to be buying like a spec home. For example, D.R. Horton, they just build their houses and then you buy them; they're already designed. These builders still have that element of design to where, yes, they're going to build homes and they're ready to go and you can buy them either completed construction or close to complete construction, but they still have the ability, or you still have the ability as a buyer to build the floor plan you want and design some of the elements of the home that you want. And not all builders do that, but a lot of these luxury builders still do.
Yeah, and then just on the average price points for Six Creeks for anybody considering buying out here, let me real quickly. I'm not trying to like go back on this, but I want to highlight something. Here's a quick market report for January in Six Creeks, and I want to. You might have already gotten a peek of what the price points are in there, but according to the data, right, of what's sold for January, the median sales price was at 449,000. Their average price per square foot at 220. And they have currently 68 active listings, 9 of them sold in January with an average days on the market at 133 days. With new construction, that's normal to see because either they're not done with the home yet and they have some time out before it's completed. So this is pretty normal to see this amount of days on the market. Now, going back to the inventory that they have. One second here.
This makes sense for Six Creeks because it's a new construction community.
Yeah.
133 days, you're like, okay, that makes sense.
It does. It makes sense. It's a new community. Now, going back here, their actual listings. Now, I mentioned 68 listings. There are 68 listings here, but I want you to notice, you notice a variety of price points. They're from $430,000 all the way up to $830,000 currently, right? So if you're considering a house in this neighborhood, it is going to vary drastically in price ranges. It's going to depend which builder you go with, the size of the home, right? And again, price point 430 to 830. Now, it's the thing on the median price point. It kind of tricks people because you're taking out the lowest and then you're taking out the highest, and you fall there. And again, this is January data of what we have. It's not reflective. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't that many sales. There was 9 sales. Majority of them were in the 400s price point, right? But a lot of the actives are between 430 and 830. So it's one of the more expensive.
830,000. It's like almost $1 million.
I know. And Kyle, look at that one, 608 wood thrush run, right? $836,000. And then you have this one here for 499. So they do vary drastically in price points. I mean, this one for 836,000. It's 3182 in square footage, and then we have almost 1,000 less in square footage for 499,000. So it really, really depends. Like, look at this one here, 432,000, 1,600 in square footage. So it really depends on what style of home, what builder you go to. Perry seems to be one of the pricier builders.
Which one's a Perry? That one on Kimball is a Perry. You can just look at it and tell.
Exactly. You start like this one here, 603 Kimball Creek. I already know that's Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison has that unique look as well, that you can kind of distinguish what kind of style you want. Maybe this one here might be a Highland home one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start noticing, okay, what kind of aesthetic do I want? What builder do I like? And also floor plans matter too. So, but yeah, that's a brief overview on Six Creeks. They are a newer master plan community. Now, let's go into an older one that's also west. And again, just a reminder, let's go back to the map. You see this big yellow area? That is Plum Creek. So it's west of Kyle. and it is a master plan community. It's a pretty, I think one of the older ones. I want to say, if I remember correctly, 1997. Plum Creek, it's a mixture of multi, single family, retail, and commercial use development since 1997, and it's still growing. We still have builders there that are constructing in that area. Let's move on to Plum Creek and see what they have currently. Now, I have a mixture of resale and also new construction on here, and you can see there's a variety of aesthetics here in Plum Creek. Like you have your duplex, like this one here on Fairway, 1491A Fairway, that price at 265. Don't let it fool you. It's the right side of the duplex. So yeah, you have a mixture, right, of single family, you have multifamily, you have these two-story homes. And then I love the style of homes here. It's so cute.
It's like, remember that show Desperate Housewives? The whole neighborhood looks like Wisteria Lane. It looks so pretty. But pretty. They've been around for a long time in Plum Creek. It's such a big community.
It is. It's a huge community. So you have a wide variety of things to pick from. Now, going to the stats real quick on Plum Creek. Let's add this to the stage here. For January, the Plum Creek stats, the median price point was at $348,000 with an average price per square foot at $205. I'm sorry. Currently 24 active listings, 12 sold in January, and the average days on market 48 days. Now, if you recall what Melissa had said earlier in our greater Kyle metro area stats, it was at, I want to say, was it 138 days on the market? Now you can see what I mean by the mixture of new construction and resale. A lot of Plum Creek is resale because it is an older community. So that's going to be reflective on days on market. It's going to be a lot less. Again, new construction, they tend to stay on the market or under contract a lot longer because they have to complete the inventory that they already sold. So
I feel like also an appeal to Plum Creek is like, if you're a golfer, you really love that.
Oh yeah,
that golf course is amazing.
Let me share that. This is a Plum Creek golf course. A quick video on that. I know nothing of golf, but I would love to learn. And I want to say I may have that in my capacity to learn how to learn a new skill. But yeah, this look at how beautiful that is. If you guys wanted to check it out, Plum Creek golf course.
Or if you want to live in a home where there's a golf course community, it's
right next to it.
You're south of Austin, Kyle, in Kyle, Texas. This is a really good option for you. It's just really pretty, and you can just look at the development on the outside of that golf course. You can just see.
It's beautiful. So yeah, if Plum Creek is calling your name, maybe check it out. Again, this would probably be more for someone that goes to San Marcos a lot and South Austin a lot. Kyle's going to be your central area, your central hub between South Austin and San Marcos, if that's it. Let's move on to.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone lived in Kyle and worked in San Antonio.
I know, right?
You know, people do it all the time. They commute like that. It would be the same as living in Kyle and working in Round Rock.
You know what? It would. I want to say that there's even people, I think now, that live in San Antonio and still commute into Austin, which is insane to me. But I think
north of San Antonio.
Yeah, exactly. Let me share my screen on Waterleaf. So here's another older master plan community called Waterleaf. Numbers. Yeah, so there's a few. We have a few active listings. Let me go back to the map again. So let me see here. You see my map, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So if you see my map, it's going to be the darker blue on the east side. That's going to be the Waterleaf section. And I'm going to zoom in here. So if you see here, there's Waterleaf Park. It's right off of FM 150 in East Kyle. And it is a master plan community. I'm going to go over their inventory here real quick. So they have a lot. They're predominantly going to be resale houses. And if you see here, their inventory is going to be between 270,000 and 378,000.
Very affordable.
Very affordable if you're looking, and if that's around your price point and you're looking somewhere in Kyle, somewhat newish construction, this would be it. If I go onto the reports, the Waterleaf January market report, we have a median sales price point of 305,000 with an average price per square foot of 180. As you saw, currently active 9 listings, only 1 sold in January. And
That's just crazy. Well, it's a small neighborhood too. Not a lot of homes on the market potentially.
exactly. And then this one is 11 days on market. So as you see, the resale days on market tend to be lower than the new construction. As you can see, this is reflective of that. We have 11 days on market for that one particular listing. Probably this month, when this month is over, that's going to look a little bit different, maybe a little bit higher. I want to say closer to 30 days. But yeah, that's the Waterleaf community. If that's looking more like your price point and it has what you offer, they have a variety of homes there too. In Waterleaf, they do have a 4-acre private park that has a pool, a playscape, basketball, and sand volleyball courts. They also have the public Waterleaf Park for additional recreational fields and hiking trails. So if
And
that's
they're also on the same side of the highway as Lake Kyle.
yeah,
And looking at these number slides, I think to myself, well, maybe people love their neighborhood. They love their mortgage payment, and maybe they don't sell.
I was thinking that too. I was like, man, they're probably very happy. That's a really good sign, right? It has very low inventory, and this, again, it's newish, so it's not brand new, but it's newish construction. So if this is something more in your lane, maybe consider Waterleaf. Now, if you want something newer on the east side of 35 in Kyle, then we have the Crosswinds subdivision. So let me share that real quick. So here we have the Crosswinds inventory. Again, let me highlight the map real quick. We're going to be right over here in this purple section, east of 35 in Kyle. And looking at their inventory for Crosswinds, they range between 342,000 and 662,000. Their builders are Brightland Homes, Highland Homes, Milestone, Pacesetter, Perry, and Pulte Homes.
That's a good mix, I feel.
It is. It's a very
affordable and higher end, because looking at that Six Creeks, there's Perry Home in there, and it's definitely their high level product
exactly.
in that neighborhood. So maybe this is like, it's a good sign for, if you're buying an entry level home, to be in a neighborhood that has more luxury builders like Perry, for example. It's good for your resale.
Exactly. So, I mean, and again, the price points, they're vary drastically, but it's because they have a variety of options for you to big, plus the also the builders. So 342 to 662,000. They have an amenity center, they have playgrounds, trails, and a dog park. So something to consider here. Let's look at the report real quick. So let's see for Crosswinds what their report was for January. Again, median sales price point at 407,000. The average price per square foot at $200. They currently have 59 active listings. That's going to include resale and also new construction. And then they have 5 sold listings that I'm pulling data from January. And their average days on market is 172. So why is that higher, Melissa? Because
new construction.
So I'm hoping you guys are getting the trend. We're trying to educate you. If you don't know, and if you know, right? But we're trying to educate you on the resale. It tends to be lower, new construction higher. And again, they're building from the ground up. A lot of the homes that they sell when they either have a month to go, 3 months to go, and sometimes 6 months to go, or right from the lot, where they still are waiting to get permits. So that's going to take a lot longer, right? That particular address is pending on the market for a long time, or it's on the market for a while before it a buyer snatches it up. So again, for Crosswinds, let me share the tab for the Crosswinds inventory. So if you can see here, if this is more your liking, you want to be east of 35, then maybe
a good neighborhood option.
Yeah, this is definitely another neighborhood to consider if this is more what you're looking for. Again, all of these neighborhoods, they're super close to I-35. So I want to say for all of them, I want to say they're probably 5 minutes away from I-35.
Yeah.
So let me go over
And
Two.
it's also one thing to note, guys, that we're just highlighting 4 neighborhoods, 2 new construction neighborhoods, 2 resale neighborhoods, or mixed resale,
Yeah.
new construction. But there are several new construction neighborhoods in
Several.
town. You have so many. We don't have enough time to go through them all, but just know that if you're a first-time buyer, there's a lot of entry-level new construction communities to consider. And you go to your trusted realtor, or if you want to ask us, obviously we are educating you, and we will always educate ourselves on helping you find the best home for you. But it's just not numbers in Kyle. There's fun things to do there too, and there's a big draw to that the small town there, right, Liza?
Yes, there is. But before, let me do one more thing. I'm like the stats person, but let me real quick. I think this is very important. Let me share this tab real quick on
Show me.
the stats for Kyle. Melissa, I think maybe you should highlight this on from the census information on Kyle. What's going on in Kyle? Why are these price points the way they are, right? And the numbers, why it's reflective of what's going on in Kyle? Because of this information here. Is grown quite a bit, right, Melissa?
Yes. So, guys, this is from the census. So, they run their data every year. And in 2023, they named Texas as it kind of highlighted our state in popularity. I have a personal opinion on this, but not only did Kyle make one of the 3 fastest growing cities in Texas, also considered Leander and Little Elm. I think Little Elm might be near Dallas, but Texas was the only state that had more than 3 cities in the 15 fastest growing largest cities and towns, just by numeric and percentage change list. So I am not surprised to see developers putting their money and pouring their money into cities like Kyle, Georgetown, Leander. And if you think about it, guys, those 2 cities, Kyle, Leander, and I know Georgetown always makes a list. What are they close to? What are they all close to? They're all close to Austin, Texas.
Yes.
All of them.
Exactly.
So I just find that really a notable a statistic. So I just feel like we're in the beginning. I don't even think we're scratching the surface on what development will look like. Maybe it just all blends. Maybe
it'll all blend in.
It's like this big.
I know it'll be bigger probably than the Fort Worth area. I think it'll blend in with the San Antonio, Austin metro. Gosh, who knows, right? It'll be huge, massive. I mean, we are in the triangle, right? Between Houston, Dallas, and Austin. We're in that triangle area of Texas. So it's very popular. No wonder it's growing. Let's move into some fun things to do in Kyle. What do you think? Actually, you know what? Real quick, let me remove this real quick. This is something that's bothering me. And I don't know. I still don't know this. I researched it, and it was such an interesting question for Kyle. Now, anybody, and you may know this, Melissa, but if you guys are in Kyle right now and you know the answer, please type it in the comments. What are people? So people from Austin are Austinites. People from Texas are. Hold on a second. I'm going somewhere. What are people from Kyle called?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that a good question or is that a good question? No, I'm joking. I got stumped. I even Googled it. This is how silly I am. And but I Googled it and I couldn't find an answer. So anybody from Kyle, please let me know. It's going to bother me. I think I was just like, maybe Melissa knows, but I was just wondering. Okay. So nobody knows. Anyways.
I think they reserve that for like major metro areas like Houstonian, Austinite. What do you call people from Dallas?
Thank you. Hold on a second. Rochelle's like, I want to know, girl. I'm with you. I want to know too. Like, what are people from Kyleites? What are
Kyleites?
I don't know. Austinite? That makes sense. Kyleanians? I don't know. What are people from Dallas? Is a huge city. So what are people from Dallas called? Dallin? I don't know. I'm gonna make myself look stupid.
Dallastonians?
Anyway, so just a question. If y'all end up finding out, please let us know.
Please let us know.
I'm not joking. But
I do want to thank the people that I put a post on Facebook yesterday, and I was like, "Hey guys, why did you live in Kyle? Why do you live in Kyle? Why did you move to Kyle? What is the appeal on Kyle?" So I just want to thank everybody for their responses, which helped us in our research for today's live. So we do have a few things, right, Liza?
Yes, we do. And again, I always do this before I jump into that. One of my favorite comments that someone gave you for Kyle. What is a reason for living in Kyle? And I'm not sure if this resonates for anybody living in Kyle now. They said less traffic and small town vibes. I think that was one of my favorite comments because I can see why a lot of people move out. There's a lot of reasons to move in to Austin, but a lot of reasons why they're moving out and then picking other cities, surrounding cities around Austin, one of them being Kyle. And when I visit Kyle, it does give me that vibe. It is less traffic. It does give you small town vibes, and it's really neat. There's still a lot to do in there where you don't have to, you don't feel like you need to go into Austin to explore. You can just keep it in the city that you live in. So, which leads me into this event that Melissa found. Let me share it with you guys. Melissa, tell us more about this.
Let me go to my notes. Aw, Kyle Pie in the Sky. Y'all, hot air balloons. And honestly, as long as I lived in Austin, I never knew that they had a hot air balloon festival. I know they're known for their pie, and there's a shop in Kyle, downtown Kyle, that sells pies, and they're very good. But who knew, guys? Who knew that in the Lake Kyle Park, once a year, they have a hot air balloon festival? If you live in Austin or surrounding, maybe you should go to this festival. It looks totally fun.
It does. And I didn't know either. I'm not going to lie, guys. I get so caught up with what's going on in Austin that I rarely explore the festivals that are happening outside the city. Not that I don't, but I do, but not often. So this surprised me to find out they have a hot air balloon, and it's called Pie in the Sky. And Rochelle, have you gone to it? Because this girl, oh my gosh. Okay.
But look, guys, you get a piece of, first off, it's free. So
Okay.
you can get a slice of pie, and then you see the pies in the sky.
I love that. I love that. And isn't Kyle known for their pies?
Yeah, they have a little shop in downtown Kyle. They even have like a big pie shaped thing outside of the little shop there. It's cute.
All right. And for reference, let me go back to the map here. So I want to say Central Kyle. Maybe the pie place is around here. Oh, Texas Pie. Is that it?
That's it.
Pie right there. So it's in downtown Kyle on Center Street if you want to check out their pie. And then Lake Kyle Park is, I believe that's where they have their what is it called? Sky in the Pie.
Pie in the Sky.
My girl, my dyslexic coming out on live stream. What the heck, man?
That's so funny.
Pie in the Sky. There you go. Pie in the Sky. So yeah, guys, this is one event. I think that's awesome.
Michelle says they have live bands.
What? Hold on a second. Let me highlight your comment, girl. What? All right. Live music is where it's at. Is it BYOB? Or do you
No, I do think it says things you can bring: clear bags, hydration packs, aluminum water bottles, baby strollers. No, it doesn't. Wait. I guess it doesn't say you can't bring that.
Well,
it doesn't say you can't.
Okay.
And it doesn't say you can. Use your discretion. Take your water.
So, and then Rochelle said the hot air balloons do. Oh, and she goes, it is BYOB.
Oh, okay, there you go. Bring your own beer.
So, is it safe to assume that? So, I want to say it is. So September 1st and 2nd, and it's free admission, guys. Like, come on, this can be a cool event to like gather friends, and that's what I love about a lot of the events when they're. I'm not saying because I'm cheap. Well, maybe I am cheap. No, but I love going to free events like this and having like this gathering of friends. We all get to like hang out, maybe go to a balloon ride, and BYOB. Come on, live music. Come on, that sounds like that. And what? And a little girl.
They even have they obviously have parking shuttles like from their high schools and parks, but on the website it says skip parking altogether and use the city's Uber Kyle $3.14 ride share program.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is awesome.
I know that already sounds exciting. Like there's stuff to do. There's stuff to do, by the way. Now, are you good? Are you good to go onto the next one? Okay, so let me share this tab here.
So, I mean, obviously we just had the Austin Marathon, right? This past weekend. But who knew, guys? Who knew that they have something called Front Porch Days in Kyle, Texas, and it's a marathon. It's their half marathon.
I didn't know that.
It looks like it's coming up in May. So I wouldn't be surprised if people who just ran the Austin half or the Austin full are, especially runner circles, runner groups, do the half marathon in Kyle, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Right down
exactly.
the road. Excuse me.
Awesome. I had no idea that they did this. So I think it's safe to assume they have it every year in May. Last year was May 20th. So maybe this year it'll be around the same time frame. But that is really neat that they have that.
Yep.
Let me go on to the next one here. And this is the Kyle Market Days, right, Melissa?
Yep, Kyle Market Days. So I feel like with this one, maybe it's not necessarily a once a year, but all the time.
Yeah.
Kyle Market Days.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me scroll down on here. So it looks like it's what is
second Saturday of every month, beginning in April, and they go all the way through the fall. So if you're a vendor, or maybe you're looking for some unique finds, some unique buys, something that's like not commercial, like not something you picked up at Target, and maybe you and your family take a ride down to Kyle and support their local market days. Maybe you can find something super unique, but it sounds like a fun thing to do.
It does. And who doesn't love that? I love that it also says live music. So, oh gosh, I don't know.
I'm just gonna go hang out with Kyle now.
Kyle, I'm gonna be called something that I don't know what it's called, because we don't know what the name is for Kyle, people that live in Kyle.
then her and her husband moved to Kyle all of a sudden, because we're doing
so
hood.
real, I know, dude. So this is the thing with me. I'm going through all these houses and I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm selling myself on moving over here. Like every time I'm going to have that problem, by the way. You guys are going to see an ongoing problem with me wanting to move to every single hood we probably do a highlight on. I'm not kidding. Y'all think I'm lying. Y'all can ask my husband. He already knows. He knows the problems. I'm always like, hey, what if we move here? Do you do that, Melissa? Or is it just me? Is that maybe I'm not normal?
I'm not innately like nomadic, right? I don't like to move a lot. And when I say move, like, yes, we've like bought houses, renovated, sold, renovated, rented, but I usually stay like in a little bubble.
Yeah.
I lived in Cedar Park 10 plus years, and we've been in Manor since 2017. So the next time I make another move, I feel like it's just going to be somewhere I'm going to stay, but I don't mind moving within the little area.
The little hub. Girl.
But tell Brian you need a bigger house for your cat.
There you go. I need a bigger house. And you know what I'm thinking, guys, for those that don't know, I'm obsessed with cats, but I don't own a cat. I don't have a cat.
How do you say cat in Mandarin?
Yiji Mao. Yiji Mao. It's so cute. Yiji Mao.
Rochelle come to Kyle, Liza.
I know. And then Rochelle was like, come on to Kyle. Of course, girl, you're trying to sell me Kyle too. But I would love to have a cat. But I'm thinking, me with guys, I'm obsessed with crystals, and I have crystals everywhere in my house. And these little trinkets everywhere. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to put that in a glass case, because, a cat will probably knock it out. So I'll probably have to rearrange my lifestyle, my home style. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So let's move on to, you know what? That was it for Kyle Market Days. Do you want to move on to the huge announcement, Melissa, before we close this live stream out?
Yes, but there's one thing I wanted to mention that I gave you an article about a big dog park improvement for quality of life for people in Kyle. There was an article or a news story at the end of December. The plan is called Project Two Step. And I'll just read a little highlight. And I didn't give you this link, so I'm sorry, but we can just talk about it. But essentially, they're looking for development that would include a hotel, an amphitheater, a dog park, a pickleball court, and a pond for paddleboarding and kayaking. So it looks like Kyle's getting some really cool stuff. Okay. It's looking to be a $14 million project. And the developer is going to be looking into reusable water options for the shade in the dog park, because as you know, as you're developing, that's one thing that that's always on the forefront of at least my mind, is like when I see a new subdivision going up, I'm like, where's the water? Where are they going to get the water? There's no water. So,
oh my gosh. You know what, Melissa? I'm going to share this, Tabby, since you just brought it up. Let me share this real quick, what you're discussing right now. Hopefully this might be what you were referring to. And I don't know how to make this bigger, but holy crap. Hold on a second. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
This it right here.
Yeah,
Project Two Step.
yeah,
I love that they put Two Step in there. So
yeah.
Texas, right?
It's an
Oh,
Austin.
wow.
They're Austin-based developers seeking 14.3 million in incentives to build a 45-acre mixed-use development in Kyle that can bring a wealth of amenities, including a hotel, homes, beer garden, amphitheater, dog park, pickleball court.
Ooh,
I mean, it just
that,
seems like a cool project.
I think that in itself, hold on, let me go to this other one. Can y'all still see my screen?
Yeah, maybe you can.
Look at that. Okay. The Kyle Beer Garden,
Yeah.
the Two Step. Wow, this is
All,
exciting.
all of a sudden, Liza's looking for houses in Kyle. She's, I know you like beer. I know you do.
I like my dark beer.
Mhm.
I'm
She
all
likes her
looking. Let me see.
lagers.
A ver. Let's see, Kyle. Let's see, Kyle. What do you got? What do you got? That's actually very neat. I'm excited for Kyle. And are you noticing, Melissa, that a lot of the cities they're building their own hub now? Have y'all noticed that? You,
Yeah.
Kyle, other cities, beauty. I know this live stream is focused on Kyle, but I want you guys to notice that even in neighborhoods, right, in bigger cities, they're having their own hub as well. So it kind of eliminates you having to go to one of the bigger cities to have fun or feel like you have you don't if you don't have anything to do, you know. But Kyle's already doing it.
Remember when I lived in Cedar Park, I never left because I
I
didn't.
know.
If you think of like huge, massive, like what would have been considered small town, Cedar Park, Leander, guys, if you live there, and I know this because I used to live there, you
Mm-hmm.
don't live there. If you go to work and when you come back home, you have your dining, your shopping, your grocery shopping, your restaurant, like you have everything is there. Your kids' sports, you're just in that bubble. So maybe that just is what it's going to look like for Kyle because they won't ever need to leave.
Exactly. And I think they're on the right trajectory. I think that it screams this is what people want. They
Yeah.
don't want to have to commute 30 minutes to have fun and then whatnot. They want to be able to have that walking steps or maybe a 5-minute commute from where they live. And I think that's really, really cool that they're doing that. Which leads us to, do you want to break into the big announcement or todavía no? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Okay,
do
so
it
hold on a
because we all know why our city's growing.
So let me share that 1 second here. I need to share the tab because I forgot. But all right. So tell us about the big news, Melissa.
First off, you must be living under a rock if you don't know this face. I wish I could zoom in on his face because it's
You know what? Hold
so
on.
funny to me. Sorry, Elon, but jeez.
I'm sorry.
He just looks like, I mean, I'm gonna say something super controversial. But he looks like, you know how you watch those movies and they're like aliens and they pull the skin over them and they come out.
Oh
Like
my God, Melissa.
they're not really from here. He's like from another galaxy.
I'm sure a lot of people say that too.
And I bet he takes that as a compliment.
I bet he's like, you know what? I actually I am. We're not from here.
I'm not from here. I've got my SpaceX and my this and that.
We're the aliens.
He does have SpaceX, and I know he's obsessed with, all space oriented things. But so if you haven't heard the news, I think they announced it over the weekend. But I know this article says 2023. However, it made the news again over Saturday, talking about his expansion in Kyle. So I think at this point he's going to be renting like, I don't know, 1 million square feet.
1.4.
1.4 million square feet in Kyle. I mean, just for optics, what that looks like. I mean, I'm sure this has to do with his gigafactories, maybe holding supplies and things that he needs to do to build his cars that he's doing here in Austin by the airport. But just having having the name Tesla synonymous with your city, just will raise people's eyebrows. And even if they're not from Texas, maybe they think, oh, Tesla's going to Kyle, although it's a rental situation. Don't be surprised if he has something under his sleeve with other expansion in the city of Kyle. So we know that he's got, what does he have going on? Something in Bastrop. I don't know. I think he's even
community,
building
right?
Yeah.
The community for, I guess, to make it easier, like entice also people to come work in these areas. So yeah, he has a lot going on here in Texas alone. and then now into Kyle, which creates job opportunities too. So there's job growth there.
Right.
And it, like Melissa mentioned earlier in the live stream, Kyle is like the second to Georgetown as the fastest growing cities, and that's only going to go up. So I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to surpass Georgetown or not. I guess we'll find out in the time to come after all of this expansion happens, but it
And
might.
all of these cities have something to offer. All these towns have something to offer, but it's still my opinion in the back of my head. I think, is it not coincidental that you have Leander, Georgetown, Kyle in extreme close proximity to the city of Austin, which is now known for just being a major hub, what they call Silicon Hills, not Silicon Valley, but you have your Tesla, you have your Google, you have your Facebook, you have your Amazon. So I just feel Austin in general, the benefits of all these major companies coming to Austin will bleed into all the little towns. Eventually, I think we'll just be one big city, you know?
I think so too. One big metro. I mean, yeah, metro area for sure. So this is exciting for Kyle, and Kyle, congrats. I don't know if all the residents of Kyle love this, but I think this is a good thing for Kyle. Let me remove this here. So I hope you guys, man, this was a packed live stream of information. We love bringing you this and educating you on what's happening, and talking about in general just the market stats, average price points for anybody that's considering moving to Kyle, also things to do in Kyle and what's coming to Kyle. These are all very important. And it also helps people that live in Kyle. If you don't already know, well, now you know, right? What's happening in the city that you live in. So there's a lot of growth definitely to be had in Kyle. I believe there's still room for a lot of growth there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very excited to cover this. It was really, really fun to do all the research and putting this together for you guys. I hope you found it helpful. But other than that, I think our live stream has come to an end.
I know. And you guys continue to come to us every week. We're going to have a new Where's Your Hood. So yes, we're going to be covering every month. Sorry. We're not that not busy to do it every week. But it would be cool if we could bring, maybe in the future we would do every week.
Yeah.
But for sure, it's going to be the third Wednesday of every month. And we're going to be discussing Where's Your Hood. So if you have a specific hood that you want us to cover, reach out to Liza or myself. And like I said, we'll be covering all the hoods that we can in Where's Your Hood series. So maybe we'll do North next. Who knows?
Who knows? I know. Just stay tuned for that. I hope you found this helpful for you guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Again, we go live every third Wednesday of the month at 11 a.m. So stay tuned for episode, what is it? We're going to be on episode 3 next month. So other than that, contact us. Let us know if you have any suggestions, but we will conclude and end this live stream. And
y'all, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Oh, we're going to do the millennial heart because I don't know how other people do it, but we'll do the millennial hearts because this is all I know how to do. We love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.